ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of this Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. I'm your host, Roland Kerrison, aka Roll Nice. It has been a little minute since I have recorded a podcast, and I do apologize. Life has been lifing, work has been working, and things have been all over the place since the last episode I had with my son and my nephew. So I'm not going to keep you people long today. I'm definitely going to get back to doing this at a more frequent and high level. But today I want to talk about, my topic of today is accountability. And what that word means and what that word looks like for all of us. Accountability, some people always want to tie that to a negative action, and it's not. So it can be, but I'm gonna talk about it in all aspects. Aspects. So accountability is something that we all need to do, as especially now as adult, as I will be turning 47 in a few short weeks. So I had to look back and going through some things that I've been going through over the last, 12 to 18 months. I had to do some self-reflection and look at what that looks like for me personally. So accountability for me personally looks like taking responsibility for past mistakes, past choices, decisions that I have made that I need to have made that made me happy, unhappy, taking me from left to right, up to down, ins and out. So, and some people don't take accountability at all for their actions, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So, for me, I'll start to break it down a little bit to job choices, finances. I got to take accountability because I haven't been doing this podcast like I promised myself and my audience that I was going to do consistently. So, accountability on my side is I definitely should have stayed more consistent. But it wasn't, a negative thing that to a certain extent kept me away. It was family, work, and things of that nature. After working 10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, I get a little mentally drained, and it's hard to sit down and prep and do all this, because on this podcast I am the editor, the uploader, the tech support. So it does take a lot out of me, and I've had my co-hosts come in and out. I'm working on something different. My co-host wants to do it again. I gotta figure out how, because we're thinking about bringing in a third person. It's just the fact that I do this out of my home, and that can be a little bit tricky. So, with that, I take accountability for not, doing what I'm supposed to do, and I know I don't have a lot of followers, and I'm trying to grow that base, and some of you may want to hear what I got to say, and some of you don't, so it doesn't matter to me. I do it for me, my own personal fulfillment, my own personal life. So that's where me taking accountability definitely comes into play. With life choices as far as jobs. I'm at a job that I enjoy to a certain extent, but if I have to be brutally honest with myself, it's not my end all be all. I would like to do something more on the entrepreneurial level, but I have to be mindful of what I say, because the streets are always watching. So, I think about that, and so that'll come with announcements at a later date. When it comes to my real estate, I fell back because I allowed work to control me and take me away from things that I did enjoy do. Certain circumstances kind of put me on hold with that as well. But, I can't blame anybody. I have to take responsibility and accountability for why some of these things have been lacking. There hasn't always been the worst reasons why they've been lacking or bad reasons. It's just they are my own personal reasons, good, bad, and indifferent. Um, and relationships with family members, friends, co-workers, I have to take accountability for the good and the bad, how I let them affect me in a positive and a negative way. That I got to, progress and grow from that. And I see a lot of people just really not want to take accountability, want to finger point and blame other people for their mistakes and their problems and what they go through, which I'm not never going to say that there are sometimes not outside factors that can affect your choices and your decisions in your life. But at the end of the day, we could have the ultimate control on those factors and how we let them affect them and how we let them make us do certain things. So again, like I said, that's a big word that I've been really uh, focusing on and battling with and paying attention to and really learning about what that means. uh, it's not always just, like I said, negative. Sometimes it's really self-reflection. Sometimes it's atoning for the things you've done to yourself and people. Sometimes it is even as simple as forgiving yourself for things you have done to people, because it's hard to forgive, it's hard to move on if you don't even forgive yourself first. So it's hard to forgive someone else if you haven't taken accountability and forgave yourself for the things that you've done wrong. As long as you learned from your lessons and decided to grow and change and move on, then that's the positive side of taking accountability. And people not always doing that in this day and age. Everybody's, like I said again, blaming other people for their problems, their mistakes, and why they can't get through certain levels. Um, and I've been a victim of that. I've done that myself. But again, like I said, it comes with growth as I get older. Like I said, I'll be 47 this year, so I had to learn about taking accountability in a lot of my life. I had to take accountability in my health and eating choices. So, over the last, 12 to 18 months, I could be honest, I am down like 80 plus pounds because I took accountability for my own health. So that word doesn't always have to be something negative and something that you feel like is going to cause blowback or going to be a problem for your life in the long run. Um, so, and sometimes when you take accountability for your life and your choices, it can cause people to enter your life and cause people to exit your life. Um, and we're sitting around, you see what's happening in the world with, our celebrities, our icons, and, sometimes you got to take accountability. Like, I was, you know, looking at the sentencing for Diddy, and I'm like, so at the end of the day, he has to take accountability for his actions, things he did. He asked for leniency. He was sentenced to 50 months in prison. But I asked myself, um, what levels of accountability should he have taken? Because I look at, okay, what he was charged with and sentenced with. I don't understand that. It seems like a made up crime. It's something that people have done, for decades and hundreds of years. How do you get convicted of paying for somebody to sleep with your significant other? I don't understand that. I didn't know that was a crime. And they tied the prostitution word to it to make it a crime. But, men of power and wealth have been doing that for, it's hard for me to say centuries, but I could definitely say decades. So he doesn't definitely have to take accountability for trying to live a life that he's not, that he got to realize that due to the color of his persuasion, he can't necessarily live by the same rules that they do and try to play the same game that they play. And so accountability comes across in all board. It's sad that he's going to prison for something like that. And I know he did other things, but he's doing things that other people have not even been arrested for, or not have even been looked at a second way for. So, you know, so I feel like, in my opinion, his accountability has to come from learning that he can't live the same life that certain people of a certain persuasion or a certain color lives. Um, so again, that ties back into me even take accountability for myself. No, I don't rock like he does or do things that he does, but it's just a matter of there's things that I have done that, you know, that other people have done, and they either been forgiven for, or they haven't had to face consequences for that I may have. Now, again, that can come with peer pressure, that can come with, you know, uh not, I guess, not being standalone, but we all fall into the trap of that peer pressure and following. Even some of the greatest leaders that fell into the trap of being a follower of bad habits, so to speak. So, but as like I said, as I've been doing some self reflection over the last 12 to 18 months, it really comes down to Roland got to take accountability for Roland and his choices at the end of the day and make atonement. And that's what I've done. That's what I feel like I've done. And I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about the results. Um, some of the results have not been favorable, but for the most part, taking a inventory of myself and the things I've done have kind of paid off. There's still work to be done. God's still working on me. I still got a lot of progress to make um, in this world. But, I want to know what you guys think about that word accountability. What does it mean to you? What does it stand for you? Like, is it, you know, blaming other people and never want to accept your wrongdoings in a situation? Is it is the wrongdoing that you've done had a effect that you didn't like? Because with accountability, it all boils down to cause and effect, which is that's what this life is built on: causality. Um, Everything you do has an effect, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Every choice we make has consequences, and it has repercussions, and it has positive upsides. But you gotta decipher what choices you make are going to have, are potentially going to have negative impacts or positive impacts. And and I try to use even the words like consequences in a positive light, because at times, a consequence is always deemed as the most negative thing, but a consequence is an effect of a choice or something you've done. So even if made a positive change in your life, the consequence of that positive change could be, God weeding out certain people from around you. God, certain people may not want to be around you. Certain people may not, think you're doing the best thing, or certain people that are living a totally different path may have to step away from you permanently. Now, again, that is a consequence, but it doesn't mean it's the ultimate negative consequence. It doesn't mean you can't find peace and joy and happiness and growth from that consequence. You know, so that's why I said that word accountability is a very big, big, big word, and we have to stand on it. And I think we as individuals, I think we as a race of African Americans, black people, call us what you want, and we as a species have to learn how to start taking accountability. And as we sit here watching what happens with the politics and the government shutdown, and we got to take accountability because we voted. I didn't say, when I mean we voted for or against, but at the end of the day, we voted, and the person that won and the people that won are in control, and the government shutdown still happened. So what is the consequence? We can get screwed, but we as voters got to take accountability. We allowed that to happen. We thought we was doing something good at the time. We thought we were doing something for the benefit, the best of us, but it it had a negative consequence. For some people, they feel like it had a positive consequence. For some people, it didn't. But it's still a consequence of an action. So the accountability, you have to look in the mirror and say, well, I really can't complain about this situation because I chose to do this, and this is the backlash. So, like I said again, that it takes its form in every action of our life. Um, from the people we love, to the people we care about, to the people we work with, to the jobs we choose, to the career paths we take, to how we handle conflict, how we handle everything. Accountability, accountability, accountability. And some people may not understand what I'm saying. And it doesn't mean you may not get there or may not make clear to you, but it comes with a certain level of clarity and a certain level of uh, going through certain things in your life. Like, at my age of about to be 47, I done been through some things. I done seen some things. I haven't seen it all. God knows I still got a lot more to see, and I pray He allows me to see it. But I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot, and that's why I can sit here now on October 5th, 2025, and talk about accountability. And again, don't take it as a negative word. It just means you're just really looking at your life as a whole and understand what you did right, what you did wrong, what are the effects of your right and wrong decisions. And you just learn from it and learn how to make better decisions. But again, there are some people that just won't take accountability for anything. And it leads to poor choices and continuous poor choices. So, like I said, you have to look at our celebrities and some of the things they're going through, because they thought they didn't have to be accountable for their actions. They thought they can do whatever they want and they could just sit back and enjoy the fruits of the temporary um, things that came along with those choices. And now they want to say, well, y'all did this to me, y'all don't support me, y'all this, that, and the third. But again, we weren't there when you were making them decisions. We weren't around, so you got to take accountability. You got to do that self inventory and self reflection at all times. And like I said, I'm no therapist. I don't know it all, but I'm learning. And I'm learning through my experience. Um, so that's kind of my little spiel about accountability and how I feel like we, as individuals, as a race, as a species, as a whole, should take accountability. You know, um, and like I said, I had to sit back and take self inventory of why certain things that that I had going on are not where they should be, because some of it was my life was busy, some of it was me being lazy, some of it was the way I prioritize things. But I'm changing that up now. I'm learning. It comes with growth. It comes with age. It comes with wisdom. It comes with God's guidance. It comes with all those things. But some people just don't want to understand, and that's cool. You got to find out at your own pace what that looks like for you. What it looks like for me is going to be different what it looks like for the next person. So, but life has been lifing, life is improving, life is getting better and better every day. But that's the whole purpose of growth and understanding, and what it means to take accountability and see where you can fix where you went wrong. So, um, with that being said, what else can we do here? Um, but mistakes are gonna happen. We gotta figure that part out. But it's all fun, and we gotta get through it, and we'll make the best of it. So, um, bear with me. I'm having a little bit of technical issue, but we still could talk about what we have going on and what that looks like. So, what else can I really say about what accountability is and what it needs to be, how it needs to look, and what really is going on in this world? So, um, like I said, I know it's been a minute since I talked to y'all. There's a lot of different things um, that has happened. Um, Nothing major, just different things has happened. I'm about to see if I can sit down and watch this Dallas Jets game. See if I can watch a little of this baseball playoffs, NBA preseason. It's a lot of mixed bags. I got a trip coming up. Just enjoying what I got going on, good, bad, and indifferent, trying to push through it. So again, I want you guys, to comment, subscribe, and reach out. The phone number for the podcast is 803-543-5233. Email is cheaperthantherapyshow@gmail.com. Email your comment, suggestions, positive feedback, negative feedback. You can comment in the section below once I post a video. And again, I keep stating that small businesses, small black businesses, reach out to me. I may not have the greatest following, but I'm getting there. But I definitely want to big up to some of my people that I support. My man Mojack Snacks with salmon lasagna. If you ever come to Columbia and you hit this man up, holla at me. He got something called salmon lasagna. That's fire. My man Denard Weaver, Two Weaver, and Taste We Trust. He got his catering services. My man Big Mo got his food truck, his food stuff, salmon bites, wings on deck out of Bishopville. Got his food truck be at the Columbia flea market in West Columbia. Big ups to him doing his thing. Jordan and his wife, 360 photo booths, everything. So, Kim Weems, Lip and Pore Services, hit me up with your small businesses. Your businesses. I guess I don't even want to use the word small businesses. I feel like that might be a counterproductive, and we want to say businesses, big businesses, because to open your own business and do it is big. So I'm not even going to use that word anymore when it comes to black owned businesses or businesses in general. But any black owned businesses, hit me up 803-543-5233. Text me a business card, your contact information. I'm going to start putting them at the slides even in the beginning. Start setting up sponsorships, It ain't even always got to be paid or whatever, but I'm going to start sponsoring business and shout out to businesses so to help you grow, because that's what it's about for me. Growth. And, as I, put my foot back into the real estate game again, I need that growth just for myself. So, again, that comes down with taking accountability and taking inventory yourself. But again, send those things over to me. Text them over, email cheaper than therapy show at gmail.com. You can email them over. You can just send over what you can, even if it's just a phone number, email, link, um, picture of your business card. I'll do all my magic and do it to make it look the best. Like I said, I don't have, you know, $10,000-$20,000 equipment in here. It's just I'm making it work with some small equipment and smiles, if you can believe that. So again, I want you guys to think about the word accountability. I want you to watch this video, comment, tell me what accountability means to you, good, bad, and indifferent. Comment on what you think my accountability can be, what I can do to improve, what I can do to be better. I know some you may not know me from a can of paint. Some of my people that may watch are friends. Some of them people are relatives. Some of them are going to be complete strangers. But you know, feedback and criticism is all welcome. It's just that negative stuff, you can keep that over there. Come with some positive feedback. If you want to be, help somebody grow, then you help them grow on a positive level. Don't be destructive, be constructive. So I want to say peace out to everybody. Enjoy your Sunday. Watch your football. Thank you for watching another episode of Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. Again, comment, like, subscribe, share the video. Tell me what you guys think. You guys have a good Sunday.